First, let's define what we mean by violence against women. It's an act of gender bias violence that results in a physical assault, sexual assault, or psychological harm to women. This includes domestic violence, sexual assault, harassment, and human trafficking. Now, what about rape culture? It's a term that describes a society where sexual violence is normalized and excused. It's the attitude and the behaviors that allows sexual violence to persist. Let's look at some shocking statistics. 1 in 3 women worldwide have experienced physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. In the United States alone, a woman is assaulted or beaten every 9 seconds. These numbers are staggering and highlights the urgency of addressing this issue. So, how does rape culture contribute to violence against women? It creates an environment where sexual violence is seen as inevitable or even acceptable. This mindset leads to victim blaming, where survivors are questioned about their clothing and behavior. It also perpetuates harmful myths about rape and the sexual assault. Let's debunk some of these myths. Myth number 1. She was asking for it because of how she dressed. In reality, no one asked to be assaulted. Clothing is never an invitation for violence. Myth number 2. Most rapes are committed by strangers. Well, reality, actually about 80% of sexual assaults are committed by someone known to the victim. Now, let's talk about the impact of violence against women. It affects physical and the mental health, causing injuries and the depression. It can lead to social isolation and economic instability. The effect ripple through families and the communities. But there is a hope. We can all play a role in the changing this culture. Here are some tips we can take. Step number 1. Believe survivors. When someone shares their experiences, listen without judgment. Offer support and the resources, not skepticism. 2. Challenge harmful attitude. Speak up when you hear sexist jokes or victim blaming comments. Educate others about the reality of sexual violence. 3. Teach consent. Start conversation about consents. 4. Support prevention programs. Get involved with a local organization working to prevent violence against women. Advocate for comprehensive sex education in the school. 5th, hold culprit accountable. Don't make excuses for abusive behavior. 6. Promote healthy masculine behavior. Encourage men to express emotional in the healthy way. Challenge toxic masculine behavior that promotes dominance and aggression. 7. Create safe spaces. Support initiatives that make public spaces safer for women. Advocate for better lighting, security, and the reporting system in your community. 8. Use media responsibly. Be critical of how violence against women is portrayed in media. Support content that doesn't glamorize or trivialize sexual violence. Remember, change starts with each of us. Small action can have a big impact on shifting culture attitudes.